will Jimmy Garoppolo ever step on a field in a 49ers uniform again? Keep in mind, he already said goodbye to the media. He said, thank you so much. You guys have been great. Goodbye. Brock Purdy said he's heard from Nate Sudfeld, Trey Lance, not Jimmy Garoppolo. Everything Jimmy Garoppolo, he's not organizing practices like he has in the past. Everything he's doing is basically saying, like, let me go. Emancipate me from this team. Do you think he'll ever step foot on this field again?
Well, to be fair about the practices thing, he can't throw right now. He can't throw anything right now. So like that makes the practice portion I'm not going to look too far into. But I don't think he does. Okay.
I'm just saying, like, Trey Lance came to rookie minicamp just to watch. Yeah. Jimmy's not in town. I don't know where Jimmy is. So, I mean, it's little things like that. Like, Trey Lance is like, can I please lead this team? And Jimmy's like, can I please not?
Well, Jimmy also, again, he's probably going through his surgery right now, going through his rehab, all that stuff, and he needs to get ready for his next team, which is why basically that leads you to the answer. I don't think so at all. Okay. The 49ers have basically until like the 72nd hour right before Sunday of week 1 where they can cut him. If he passes his physical, you get the $25 million. And then you know what? If you decide to roll that over, you can. Or does that put you in position to make a trade for someone that can help your playoff roster this year because you have all this extra money? But I don't think he does. I just don't think he does at this point. It's writing on the wall in terms of personnel changes, in terms of what things look like now, how the offense is going to operate. I just don't see how you can put this team or Trey Lance through it again. If they run it back and Jimmy Garoppolo stays on this team and starts, then it is 100% an indictment on how they feel about Trey Lance. And that will be the worst part because you sent everything for Trey Lance. If you stayed at 12 and you took Mac Jones, no one would be upset. No one would be upset. But you moved up to 3, and that's why nobody wanted Mac at 3, and you wanted the home run. You traded all of those assets, and you might as well have stuck at 12, took the kid, kept your first rounders, and built around him, around Mac. So that's the part that's going to be the hardest to digest. I just don't think that happens at all.
I think John Lynch has this fantasy that Jimmy Garoppolo is going to pass his physical in July and be ready to throw in like 2 months, and that the trade market's going to pop back up as if there was one. Because he keeps saying, like, look, we were this close to freaking trade. Even though he said there were no offers for Jimmy, now he says we were really close to trading Jimmy, but this unexpected surgery kind of derailed all of it. I think they holding on to the fantasy that he'll pass a physical and someone will trade for him before camp and they'll avoid all of this. But as you pointed out earlier in the show, any team that might even consider trading for Jimmy Garoppolo might want to see him grow in the preseason game.
They got to see him throw the football. They got to see him throw the football.
Because as you pointed out, like, he might not be as accurate as he used to be. A shoulder injury, this could affect the one thing that he has going for him. It's not like he had arm strength beforehand, so this could be a big deal. Teams are going to want to see it. And Matt Mayoko just wrote this article. I've been saying it on this channel for a while, like, it's risky to have a competition to let Jimmy Garoppolo go on a practice field, let alone a preseason game, because what you want to do is eventually either trade him to a team not of his choice or make him like take a big pay cut because he's your backup. Well, he could just say, I got hurt in, practicing, competing for this job. And now you owe me all the money. Like, it could happen in a preseason game. The Niners are hoping another quarterback gets hurt. So a team gets desperate and they trade Jimmy. For sure. Dude, Jimmy's the quarterback that's most likely to get hurt. He's the quarterback who's made of glass. I'm sorry. So that's a dangerous game. And his agent's pretty clever. Just saying.
There's only one team that there's even a landing spot for him at this point, and that's Carolina. And the only thing that's keeping the door open is that there's whispers that they're still going to be in on a veteran because, what if they get to whatever it is, OTAs, and you start to see Sam Darnold again, and you're like, yeah, this guy stinks. Yeah. You don't want to turn it over to much
better or isn't
right.
Better
you don't want to turn it over to Matt Corral, right? Because let's face it, Matt Rule doesn't care about Matt Corral's development. If Matt Rule doesn't start winning games this year, he's fired.
Yeah.
So maybe, and let's be also clear, Jimmy Garoppolo does not make the Carolina Panthers a playoff team. Okay.
But let's be clear, if the Niners were to cut Jimmy Garoppolo today, Carolina might sign him.
They might sign him. Yeah. They'll sign him for
so that's the dance the Niners are doing. Okay, we still think you want him. If we cut him, you're going to go there. So let's hold on.
Like for like a deal that Trubisky got, $9 million, something like that. Like there's no way that he's going to get anything near what he's gotten, right? So the other scenario that you laid out is a fringe playoff team. And I'm just going to throw this team out, the Saints. Let's just say Jameis Winston goes down, unfortunately, and he played great last year. The Saints still feel, now that they've added Jarvis Landry, they've added Olave, they still feel.
I think is every bit as good as Jimmy, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Hot take.
You still need two guys. You still need two guys, though. So if Dalton is your guy, then Jimmy's a guy that you think has a little bit more pedigree and has done a little bit more now, right? And you use him. But then if it's Dalton and who? Dalton and Trevor Siemian, Dalton and Taysom Hill. Like, you still need another guy. So it's got to be a fringe playoff team, because Jimmy isn't taking a 4-win team and taking them to the playoffs. He's taking a 4-win team and they'll win 5 games. That's the difference. Like, Carolina making a move for him, it doesn't save Matt Rule's job unless Jimmy Garoppolo has like some rookie of the year bounce back where he's Henry Rowan-Gardner and can throw the ball harder than he ever has, or all of a sudden develop this rocket arm.
Let's be honest. Like, if we had Matt Rule on the show right now, I'd be like, Matt, you don't want to do this, because
he doesn't want to do it.
You don't want to do this because, first of all, Jimmy probably won't play much. That's the thing. Whatever Jimmy might be able to do for you and your job security, he probably isn't going to play much. That's his track record. So and then you're screwed. So you really, because you're putting your job security in the hands of Jimmy Garoppolo's durability. Like, wow, that's not what you want to do. That's not what you want to do at all.
He's a winner, though. He's a leader.
Would you want your job to depend on Jimmy Garoppolo staying healthy? Oh my God. Oh my God. No.
It's a move. It's a move to pitch your veterans in that locker room that you're trying to win, that you're not here. Like, and again, Matt Rule's trying to save his job. Now, whether he
isn't that what so-and-so, who's it, Doug Marrone did in Jacksonville with Nick Foles?
Yeah.
Bring in Nick Foles.
Just he's there, steady the hand, everything, right? And for me, it's just more Matt Rule. You're not going to save your job by winning 4 games with Sam Darnold and winning 5-6 with Jimmy Garoppolo. That's not going to instill the confidence in them to say
he needs to win 9. He needs to make the playoffs this year.
You need to make the playoffs. You need to make the playoffs. Jimmy Garoppolo's not taking the Carolina Panthers from 4 or 5 wins to 9-10. No way. No
very
chance.
Few NFL head coaches historically who have missed the playoffs their first 3 years as head coaches and not gotten fired. There's been some, but not very few. Very few.
Right. You have to be part of the plan, right?
Yeah.
Kyle Shanahan didn't come out of the gates firing, but he's part of the plan. You invested in the plan. Matt Rule's had long enough. There was a long while right before.
And to Kyle's credit, he made the Super Bowl his 3rd year, so he kind of like
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
With Jimmy. So like with Matt Rule, he was at the Senior Bowl and largely was thought of as one of the best coaches. How quickly that perception changed after 1 year, and now all of a sudden you are on the outs and you feel like a lame duck right now at this point. The only other place I could see, and again, the same thing happens here with this team, Houston. Now, let's say Casario just says, you know what, man, bring my boy back. I drafted him. He can turn this team from a 4-win team to a 6-win team, but you have a guy that you can sell to your fan base because, oh my God, that Houston fan base would eat up that jawline, eat up that guy, selling them Subway sandwiches real quick. Even though Davis Mills played very well last year, they still would be a team that could sell tickets based on the Jimmy Garoppolo name because of their fan base. So that's different. And Lovie Smith's not coming back next year.
Here's what's going to happen. Is this? I already bet my dad that Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be on the team week 1, so I'm not deviating from that. But if the Niners really feel like, because that would be insane. If the Niners feel like they need to like find a way out, what they could do is trade him for like a 7th round pick and pick up some of his money just to say that they traded him. In which case, you should have just named Trey Lance the starter from the beginning, because that's just giving him away. But they could do that. We got a
7th round pick. I would just wait for him to pass the physical and cut him so I can get the full $25 million. That 7th round pick's not going to turn into anything, and you're still going to have to foot the bill for him in some way. For me, I'm not taking anything. If it's a 3rd, I don't feel great, but I feel better, and I'm not taking that 7th. I would rather
don't see how they cut him after insisting all offseason on the record that they're not going to cut him. How do they do that? Hey, we changed our mind.
They've admitted mistakes. They traded up for Dante Pettis. Love Dante Pettis, man. He's going to be here. You know what? He's not that good anymore, man. I don't really like him. So it's like, hey, look, they reverse course on many things.
What were the Bears thinking on that one? Do you think Dante makes it? They have the worst wide receiver group in the league, so maybe he's got a chance.
They have one wide receiver, Darnell Mooney, I think, is the baller, but then they have a smooth cast of wide receiver 4s. Pringle and Pettis and Jesus, man. Poor Justin Fields, man. If you guys think that's all on Justin, man, please.
You just made Dante Pettis' day calling him a wide receiver 4. He was like, really? You think so?
I think so.
I would. That's a stretch. I think he's a.
Isn't Bears part of the? Aren't Bears part of the Cap family?
Yes.
No. Yes.
It's what he needed. Good luck, Cat man. Good luck.